Good morning and welcome to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. I am located at 1563 Main Street in Peckville, Pennsylvania, and I'm right here with you each and every week at this time on this station to give you, the landowner, the information you need. Not the information the company wants you to know, but the information you need regarding natural gas development here in Pennsylvania. And boy, I hope nobody has forgot, but I, Doug Clark, the Clark Law Firm, has not, have not, will not, do not represent gas or pipeline companies. I never, ever have, and I promise you, as I say each and every week, I never, ever will. I believe so much in what I do. I love what I do, and we're going to keep fighting for every landowner we possibly can to make sure that our Pennsylvania landowners are entering into the best possible contracts for, yes, the most compensation, most money we can get, but also the most protections for your property to protect you for future opportunities, for additional compensation, and to prevent unwanted activity on your property, to make sure you're getting paid your royalties correctly, to make sure that you are unitized correctly, to make sure that you are not held under shut-in for year after year after year after year with your tens of acres, hundreds of acres, and even 1,000+ acres. We're going to continue to fight every single day to make sure that the Pennsylvania landowner is protected. So keep listening, keep going to the websites, pagasleaseattorney.com, pipelineattorney.com. If you're looking for representation, give us a call. Want to hear from you and see if we can help you, regardless of your location. Again, I have clients all across Pennsylvania, clients who live across the country but have property or oil and gas rights in Pennsylvania. Have a client now, a new state, Oregon. Have had clients in Canada, clients all across in California, Texas, and so on and so on and so on. And again, even in other countries. So give us a call, see if we can help you. 570-307-0702. 570-307-0702. Remember, put down the pen, pick up the phone. If you want, let's start with the review and consultation with whatever you're presented, but pick up the phone and let's see if we can help you. Whether it be gas lease negotiations, pipeline negotiations, gas lease reviews, pipeline reviews, royalty deduction issues, unitization issues, surface use agreements, meter site agreements, compressor agreements, roadway agreements, waterline agreements, buying, selling gas rights. Give us a call, learn what we do, learn about reviews and consultations, usually take 1 to 2 hours, which includes the document review, and see if we can help you. And again, I represent solely landowners. Don't be afraid. Pick up the phone, and if you don't like what you hear and you don't think we can help you, or if we don't think I can help you, then we're going to be honest with you. And if you don't like what you hear, then that's okay too. And this isn't just trying to plead to have people call. I absolutely want people to call, but if you don't call me, call somebody else who knows what they're doing, who's trying to help you. Because people are signing every day, in my opinion, terrible agreements that could be negotiated, that could be improved, and in many cases, improved by tens of thousands of dollars. In many cases, even improved by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's the truth. Now you need to identify what you can do, what your leverage points are, and that's where reviews and consultations are so valuable. But why would you not speak with somebody who's working for you, who is doing what they can to help you, whose job it is to help you, not the company, not the landman who works for the company. You have to understand that and think about Remember the history, and many people have their own histories. Many people have their own histories. I'll tell you, I will never forget back in 2007, sitting in this room with many neighbors from where our hunting cabin is, and listening to the representative. I'm not going to say his name, but he was this person was a head of one of these land services or brokerage companies, a head guy, saying at that time how he couldn't believe that $750 was being paid. That in his opinion, in his experience, that was crazy. That this company is being crazy. But hey, if they want to be crazy to your benefit, let that happen. That's good for you. So the company was crazy to offer $750 per acre and 12.5%. That's right, 12.5% with full deductions for royalties. Company is crazy to do this, have never seen anything like this. Then sure enough, a month or two later, $2,000 an acre, $2,500, 15%, 16%, 17%, 18%, all the way up to $6,000 and 21% as being a standard level price in Susquehanna County for a period of probably well over a year. But the landman who owns the Landman Company says, months earlier, $750, 12.5%. This is insane. This is insane. I can't believe they're paying this much. And the other thing now, and it always just rings to me. Now, of course, I've heard there's different types of landmen, in my opinion, and some of them are quite the salesman. And I see, too, especially newer people that come into the area now, I see them using the same, it's almost like they have a landman manual. They have a book, and they use the same techniques. Again, this is all my opinion, so when I get all these letters from the landman group, it's my opinion. So I hear the same things today that I heard in 2017, or 2007, what was 17? 2007, 2008. I hear the same things today. I hear people tell me, and I hear landmen tell me, and I just laugh to myself when I hear, let me give you the quote, "This is all we're going to pay." Landman quote, "This is all this company is going to pay. This is all they're going to pay. They're not going to pay anymore." Well, geez, oh man. If it was that simple, are we going to make it that simple? Oh, well, the landman who works for the company, not for me, says that this is all the company is going to pay. So, well, I guess I better just sign. Give me the pen if that's all you're going to pay. I have heard that's all we're going to pay dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times, to subsequently see the company pay more money. But how's that possible? They just said, this is all we're going to pay. But then I've seen them pay double, triple, 4 times, 5 times, even 10 times and more than what they told me that was all they were going to pay. Remember, how easy is it to speak words? This is all we're going to pay. Well, they said, this is all we're going to pay. Better sign. Come on, guys. They said it was all they were going to pay at $100 an acre. They said it was all they were going to pay at $50 an acre. $200, $250, $500, $750, $1,000, $1,500, and on and on and on. They said that's all we're going to pay. And then there we went. $6,000, 20, 21%. I did a lease for $8,000 an acre once. $8,000 an acre. $8,000 an acre. And this person was told previously, oh, we won't pay more than this. We won't pay more than this. $8,000 an acre. So we have to stop blindly believing the company representatives who are making statements to you. You need to remember that you're living, in most cases, in this vacuum of communication with this one person, with the person who's dealing with you That's your interaction with the oil and gas industry in almost all cases, in most cases. So whatever you're being told, you don't realize that this same narrative is being told to people all over the place. You don't realize that you may be victim, I'll say, of a technique, a salesman technique, that you say, oh, geez, well, hey, this all makes sense. Well, these are tried and tested techniques used to get people to sign. So what do you need to know? You need to understand, in my opinion, you need to understand, am I getting fooled here? Do I understand what's occurring? Do I have leverage? What is my leverage? What do I need to know about my position to make sure that I am maximizing it, to do the best that I can? Have a client who's about to sign a pipeline agreement for hundreds of dollars per foot. Didn't start out that way, that's for sure. Didn't start out that way. And yeah, we're crazy for making these requests and crazy to do this and crazy to do that. But at the end of the day, the landowner is going to sign an agreement for an extremely substantial amount of money. And the person could have, when it was presented to them at $15 a foot, simply signed. So, this is the best we're going to do. That's the most you're going to pay. Well, what am I going to do? Give me the pen. Let me sign. No. What you need to do is put the pen down and pick up the phone. Whether you call me, and I would love for you to call me because I love what I do and I really believe that I can help you. And the worst thing that can happen is you find out what the document means. The worst thing you can find out is that you don't have leverage. And we talk about what you can do to improve this as much as you can, while not driving up some sort of expense that you say, well, geez, I had to pay this lawyer this money and I didn't get anywhere. Well, let me tell you, that's not a complaint that I get at my office. It really isn't a complaint, because I will say to you with all honesty, hey, look, here's what I can do and this is what I can't do and this is what we think we can do. And hey, it doesn't make sense for you to spend another 2, 3, 4 hours on my services, because the money you spend is not going to justify the return that I can give you. And I'm going to be honest. I do represent everybody like I want to be represented. Like I want my parents to be represented. Like I want my relatives to be represented. And again, like I want my very own clients to be represented. So I will say to you, hey, look, at some point there becomes a diminishing return, meaning that you pay more money, but the return you get is not justified by the money you pay. So the reviews and consultations, again, which usually take an hour to 2, well, they're virtually always, or if not all, they are always. In my opinion, they're always worth it. Because again, the worst thing that can happen is you understand your leverage and you understand every document word and every question is answered. That's the worst thing that can happen, and you spent 1 to 2 hours of legal fees and time. That's the worst that can happen. The best that can happen, you understand that you can say no. You understand your leverage. You formulate a plan as to how you want to handle this, and then you implement that plan. And many, many times, and in most cases, that's what occurs. Or you can just simply say, well, the landman said, that's all we're going to pay. That's all we're going to pay. We're only going to put in one pipeline, and this is what we're going to pay you. Or, hey, here's the lease. This is all. You got to sign this. They won't negotiate it. Well, let me tell you, that's not my experience. But boy, it's easy to say words. I've just said a whole bunch of them. I mean my words. You're listening to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Remember, give us a call. Learn about the services. 570-307-0702. 570-307-0702. Remember, reviews and consultations 1 to 2 hours. I don't want to preach too much about services, but again, I'll tell you, the phone's been ringing. Like, there's activity, things are happening. Things are happening, and that's great. And so more and more and more then, we need to pick up the phone. Whether you call me or call someone else, pick up the phone. Put down the pen. Protect yourself, protect your property, protect it for future generations. I have 2 sons. There's nothing in this world that I care more about. And I love my mother, and I love my wife. But there is nothing in this world that I care more about than my 2 children. And I'll tell you this, we have gas lease. We have a gas lease on my parents' farm. We have other property. And I will guarantee you this, whenever I sign any agreement, I'm going to make sure that we're doing the best we possibly can for ourselves, and we're doing the best we possibly can for those children and their children's children, who I haven't met yet, but I'll bet you I'm really going to love them too. So we need to protect ourselves, and we need to make sure we're getting the best possible agreement. We need to make sure that we're getting our children the best agreement, the most money they can, setting them up the best way we can, because you in many cases, have these opportunities or have this opportunity, and usually you get one bite at this apple. Some people are getting lucky and getting a second bite, and boy, I hope you're not making the same mistakes. Let's get the best agreements we can. Let's understand our leverage. Let's maximize it. And let's make sure that we're doing what we can do to help our children and their children into the future. You're listening to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Make sure you join me each and every week at this time on this station for All Things Marcellus. I'm going to be back after this break, but remember, write the number down, 570-307-0702. I want to hear from you. I do all the reviews and consultations myself, and we want to make sure we're getting the best possible information to you, what you need to know. I'll be right back. Welcome back to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Again, remember, join me each and every week at this time on this station. Give us a call. Learn about the services. I talk a lot about reviews and consultations. I do them all the time, virtually every single week, and usually several times a week. I do them by telephone. We can conference in many people from across the country even, and we do them in person. Everybody is welcome to come to the office, and I love when you do, but if you don't, you need to do it by phone. We do them all the time. Again, I have an active client in Oregon, California now, Colorado, and many other places within the country. So give us a call, learn about it. Why would you not do it? And if you don't hire us, that's okay. That is okay. But give us a call and see what you can do. Or see what we may be able to do and see if it's right for you. Just put down the pen, give a call. And I mean this. I say it all the time, but I mean it. If you don't call me, that is okay. I really want you to. So don't take it like I don't want you to. But I want you to call. But if you don't call me, please call an attorney who is working for you, who's going to work for you, and who's experienced, who's going to give you the information you need to make the right decision. And that right decision may be to sign, it may be to wait, it may be to negotiate, it may be you understand your leverage and you formulate an alternative plan. There's a lot of different things that should be discussed. But please think about this. Think about this. There are tens and tens and tens of thousands of people in Pennsylvania who feel that they were misled. Now, I'll say this, whether they were or whether they were not, but they feel that way. For example, they thought they were going to have no deductions because that's what they were told. And as we sit here today, and if you listen to the show, you hear me rant and rave about these addendum provisions that are currently given to people. There are addendum currently given to people with headings that say royalties without deduction, royalties, no deductions. That's what they say. And I'm telling you, straight as much as I can say this, as loud as I can say this, rewind us and play this back and back and back. That language does not mean what a typical landowner thinks it means. It doesn't mean that. But people are seeing the words royalties without deductions, and maybe technically through some semantic argument, the companies say, well, here's what it means. But I'll tell you, what you're going to find out in almost all of these cases is you're getting wellhead price. That is not what you want. You want the downstream price. You prefer to have the price paid as it goes into the consumer's house. The further from the well, the better for you. Do not fall. We have these people who back in the day, we understand now, okay? We're smarter today than we were in 2007, 8, 9, and 10, and 11 and 12 even. Now we know. We know the tricks. We know the loopholes. We know them. You need to know them. You need to hear them. And maybe you can close them. Maybe you can't. But many times you can. And maybe you can't close them all, but maybe you can close the most important ones. Or maybe you can close the one that's occurring all around you where people are being manipulated, in my opinion, by the terms of their lease. You need to understand those things. So we have people, tens of thousands of people, who signed agreements that didn't, the actual language back then, the heading in the addendum didn't say royalty without deductions. It would say just royalties or something to that effect. Market enhancement clause, royalties. And people thought they were getting royalties without deductions, and then they get their checks and they say, holy heck, I'm seeing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, and literally sometimes 100% taken in deductions. But whether it be 30% or 80%, let's pretend it's 30. The person thought that the percentage of deductions that would be taken would be 0. But now a massive chunk of their royalty check is taken by deductions. So how did that happen? How did that happen? Well, I'll tell you, they didn't understand how the company might interpret the lease. They didn't understand how the company may say, well, the gas is marketable at the wellhead. The gas is ready to be sold or used at the wellhead. Oh, yeah, we've sold the gas to an affiliated company that we own, and we're allowed to give you that price. It's in the lease. Again, everybody should be smarter now. We are seeing royalties being paid. You need to understand how companies use royalty calculation methods to their great advantage and to your great disadvantage. And I'm going to tell you, there are several companies today that I negotiate with that we are able to significantly change that language. And that's the type of information that you need. You need to understand, not in your vacuum of a single negotiation between you and the company. You need to understand what people before you were able to negotiate. An example like my case with me in representation. You need to understand what I've been able to do in the past. Now, if there's confidentiality, I can't tell you certain things because of confidentiality, but I'll tell you this, we can ask for the same things that maybe somebody else got. So, you need, in my opinion, you should be getting the assistance of somebody who understands the history of this company, who understands what they've done in the past, what other offers have been in your area, what other people have been able to obtain in negotiations within the last 6 months, within the last year, and even longer. You're listening to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Remember always, put down the pen, pick up the phone. You can give us a call, 570-307-0702. 570-307-0702. We really want to hear from you. And if you like what you hear, we'd love to go further. And if you don't, that's okay. But again, give us a call. Don't be afraid to call. Don't be afraid to call. I am here. We are here to try to help in any way we can. I love what I do. Give us a call, 570-307-0702. So don't be stuck in this vacuum of communication between you and the landman who works for the company, who says to you then, well, this is all we're going to pay. This is what Farmer Smith, who has all this acreage, this is what he signed, and he had a lawyer. And this is what so-and-so, your other neighbor, signed, and he had a lawyer. Well, you know what? Maybe they had a bad lawyer. Maybe Farmer Smith made a really bad decision. I am not tied to and anchored by what my neighbor did or what another neighbor did who had a lawyer, who didn't fight or didn't work or didn't understand the leverage, who didn't maximize the situation. No, I'm not going to be bound by that. And again, I always say I'm not going to be anchored by the fact that somebody else or other people have signed pipeline agreements for $10 and $15. Well, you know what? I've represented people that signed for literally $1,000 a foot, $100+ a foot. So are you going to pay everybody that, company? No, you're not. So you need to understand your specific leverage, your specific situation, your ability to negotiate, and you need to understand what may be possible. And you need to understand risk. You need to understand your tolerance of risk, meaning if you push too hard, then maybe the offer goes away, but maybe you're willing to allow it to go away. Or maybe you're really happy where you are and you really want to have the agreement, and you need to know, hey, do you think I can push it a little more? You know, you have a $100,000 offer for, say, a pipeline, or 50. I don't want to, limit it to 200. Well, there's a good chance you can get a little more money. And there's also a chance you might be able to get a lot more money. And what you need to do is understand what your leverage is, what your risk is if you ask for more money, the type of money that you may want to ask for, the factors that you need to consider when you're making a counter request for money. And you can talk to somebody who's working for you, who can educate you on all of these things, who's there to help you. And again, whether it's me or someone else, I'll say this now. I've worked on, consulted with, negotiated on pipeline agreements with over 70 different companies in Pennsylvania at this point. I have seen and I have heard, all of the different things that the companies say. I have heard companies say, and this one company kills me, well, everything you requested is in the agreement. Well then, just put this in the addendum and we'll all be fine. Whoa. Look, if it's in the agreement, then what do you care? It's just a couple other pieces of paper, maybe 2, 3, 4 pages. Well, no, it's not in the agreement. And don't fall for that stuff either. Just because something is touched on in the agreement doesn't mean it's touched on the way you want. Did you write the agreement? Did your attorney write the agreement? Or did a company, did a multi-billion-dollar cap company, energy company, did their lawyers write the agreement? Bingo. You didn't. Your lawyer didn't. Do you think that the company, the multi-billion cap company, got to be a multi-billion cap company by drafting agreements that didn't strongly favor that company? Think about it. Do you think they're drafting agreements on a form that are going to be fair and even? Do you think so? Well, if they, no, I'll give you the answer if you didn't know. The answer is no. No. Those agreements are designed to benefit them. And these leases today, these gas leases today, they have so many loopholes in there that you need to identify them. And again, many times you can change. But the companies are getting smarter. They know that the landowner hears buzzwords and they say, oh, here, look, we pay royalty without deductions. Again, reported to me recently, a land guy from a company says, oh, we're the only company that pays these royalties without deductions anymore. If you hear that landowner is told that by one landman. So they tell me when we do our review and consultation, oh, well, landman says we're the only company that pays royalties without deductions. We're such a great company. Oh, and they like to throw Chesapeake under the bus too and say, oh, we're so good. Here's the bad guys. Well, we do a review and consultation, and thankfully this person called because in their vacuum or in their limited experience, they're talking to a landman who works for the company and not them, the landowner. They're talking to the landman who's telling them, hey, we're the only company that pays royalty without deductions. You're getting royalty without deductions. And that's how it's reported to me. Well, I'm going to tell you, Again, we do a review and consultation. I read the lease. I read the offer. I'm familiar with this company. I'm familiar with the exact royalty calculation language that they've presented. And I'm going to tell you, as I told the client, this is not royalty without deduction. There are multiple companies today in Pennsylvania who will still do leases that are royalties without deductions. But this ain't one of them. And this language, what they're telling you is royalty without deductions, is not royalty without deductions. Not the way we look at it. Now they can play a semantic game and say, well, we say that there be no deductions before the gas is marketable, before it's ready to be sold or used. Well, if you immediately declare the gas marketable, if you immediately declare the gas ready to be sold or used the moment it comes out of the ground, well then, there are no deductions because there were no pipeline, gathering, transportation, or compression fees incurred by the company before the gas came out of the ground. So they word something to say, oh, no deductions, but they don't charge you for pipeline charges to get the gas to the surface of the ground because there are none. And then they say, instead of calling them deductions, the pipeline fees after the gas gets to the surface, they say, oh, no. Those are enhancements of the value of the gas, and we can charge those to you. So they just use a different word. But this person, this is just a great example, believed the landman who told him, again, this is reported to me, tells him, hey, look, this means no deductions. You're going to get the sell price. This means no deductions. We're the only company doing it. And after review and consultation, the person understands. And I will gladly debate. Well, it's not even a debate. It's not a debate. There is no way. I have been involved in multiple litigation where the companies say in court something a lot different than what you're hearing by the landman who works for the company and not you. So you have to know these things, and you need to know them before you sign. And that's why I say all the time, put down the pen, pick up the phone. Understand these things before you sign. And again, if you want to sign and if it's right for you to sign, then you should sign. But why would you not take advantage of a review consultation opportunity, a service, taking an hour or two? And again, I want to say, I am so fortunate to have the wonderful clients that we have. And I want to do every review and consultation I can, because after these calls and after these in-office meetings, the reports and the feedback are virtually always just great. And I don't say that to say, oh, I think so highly of myself. I say it because I want everybody to have this information and then make the best decision. That's what we want, and that's what we need. And we have to stop being in these negotiations in a vacuum, because now when I say I give you the information you need to know, not what the company wants you to know, because if you don't talk to me or somebody who knows what they're doing, who's trying to help you, who's working for you to help you, if you don't have a person like that, what do you have? You have the other side, the company, controlling all of the information that you are hearing. The company telling you exactly what they want you to know and what they want you to hear. They don't tell you when you sign this amendment and ratification that you're ratifying this old lease, which actually may have terminated, landowner, that you have actually excellent arguments that your lease is actually over and that you could potentially negotiate for $1,000, $2,000 or more an acre, that you can improve your royalty percentage potentially from 12.5 to 15 or higher. Are they going to tell you that? Well, of course not. Of course not. They don't work for you. They don't work for you. We've done releases, we've rejected amendments and ratifications, we've negotiated them for much more money and better terms, and I've never heard once a landman say to a landowner, or it's never been reported to me, saying, hey, look, come off to the side here, let me tell you, here's why we're getting you to sign this, because we probably don't have the right to do this and you probably have a lot of leverage. So you really should ask for more money and understand what your position is. And so you should reject this, and you should really negotiate and try to get more money, and here's the different reasons why. Has anybody had that experience? Has anyone? And if you have, call the office, 570-307-0702. I'd love to hear about it. But my experience is, hey, this is really good for you. You don't do this, you're going to get cut out. They're going to work around you. They're going to steal your gas. If you're hearing those things, again, look, is there a possibility that they may be true? Yeah, there's a possibility in certain circumstances, but you need to understand your circumstances and whether that applies to you. And you can't just simply, in my opinion, and everything is my opinion, this is not specific advice, it's all general advice, but in my opinion, you need to get specific information. You need to understand your situation. And starting with, and I really encourage everybody, give us a call about the reviews and consultations. Couple points. These amendments and ratifications. I almost want to beg, if you have an amendment and ratification presented to you, and you have been shut in, Tioga County, other places too, but if you have an amendment and ratification, and you were shut in, put down the pen and pick up the phone. Put down a pen and pick up the phone. 570-307-0702. Also, multi-unit well consents. Multi-unit well consent. If you are presented with a document, the company wants to drill multi-unit wells, again, put down the pen and pick up the phone. There may be things that you can do, and you need to find that out. 570-307-0702. 570-307-0702. You're listening to All Things Marcellus. Join me back here every week at this time on this station, but we're not done today. We got 2 more segments. I'll be right back. Welcome back to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Remember, join me each week, every week at this time on this station for All Things Marcellus, as we say, for the information you need to know. Not what the company wants to know, but the information you need to know. And a reminder, all of my statements are my opinions. They're not meant to be specific legal advice. It's general information. So I always want to make sure that everyone remembers that. And also the websites. Make sure you go check out the websites. PA Gas Lease Attorney. PA Gas Lease Attorney. Check out the websites. Pipeline Attorney. If you have a pipeline agreement and you're not going to pipelineattorney.com, why not? The websites are free, general resource, not specific advice. Read about leverage. Read about, frequently asked questions, mistakes, things like that. Read about those things. And I have been doing the radio show since 2010. And we have hours and hours and hours of radio shows available on the websites. So if you're interested in leasing, royalty issues, roadway agreements, buying, selling gas rights, unitizations, royalties, you name it, pipelines, go and check out prior radio shows. And if you missed today's show, you can go tomorrow and go online, go to pagasleaseattorney.com, pipelineattorney.com, and you can listen to today's show. You can replay it. You can listen to last week's show. So take advantage of these resources. Remember, the company has many, many lawyers working for them, many, many employees working for them. They tend to be, again, multi-billion-dollar companies. Multi-billion-dollar companies. We should be at least listening to the radio show, going to the websites, becoming informed. Go to the Penn State site. Education is the key. Quality information and education is the key to do the best you can. And that's what we need to make sure that everybody is doing. So make sure that you keep listening each and every week at this time on this station. Give us a call, 570-307-0702. I'll tell you, there has been an uptick in leasing. I have seen an uptick in leasing in various parts of the state. In various parts. I've done agreements recently and negotiated and reviewed agreements from many, many companies. And you know what? Just naming a few, JKLM, Rockdale Marcellus, Sweppy, Cabot, Chief, Repsol, Chevron, Penn Energy, EQT, and more. These are leases, we'll say, worked on within the last 6 months easily, I would say, and several active ones now. There's been an uptick in leasing activity, and able to negotiate to significantly change many of these contracts, many of these leases, many of them. And you need to know that, and we need to make sure that you're getting those changes. And so that's, again, you can start review consultation, review the document, understand it, and get a plan. Just get a plan, and then decide. And if we go forward and I negotiate or I work further, that's great. And if we don't, that's okay too. But you've now had a consultation with somebody who's working to help you, whose only goal in this whole process is to make sure that you do the best you can. And that's what you need, somebody on your side, whether it's me or someone else who knows what they are doing. No offense to the family law attorneys, no offense to the civil attorneys, but you need somebody who knows what they are doing in these oil and gas issues. The days of going on the internet and printing out addendums and saying, oh, here you go, client, or here you go, like client says, or landowner says, hey, here you go, gas company. In my opinion, those days are gone. What we have today is very specific terms and language that we need to try to address. We see today through the very clear perspective of hindsight. We can see in 2020. We can see perfectly what has occurred. We can see the lease documents. We can see how the companies have interpreted them. We can see what your new lease documents are. And we can discuss and look to address, and in many cases address, important issues and loopholes that are going to be used, my opinion, but what we've seen in the past, to result in you receiving lesser royalties, more activity in your property, and so on and so on. You need to understand that. You're listening to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Again, always join us each and every week at this time on this station. Give us a call, 570-307-0702. 570-307-0702. I'm going to turn the page a second. I touched on something, amendments and ratifications. You know, I've done several shows on these, and there's something that I deal with a lot today. So an amendment and ratification is amending, which means changing your existing, and typically it's your gas lease. So they are looking to amend and change your gas lease. So it's a change. Let me just tell you, companies don't take too kindly to us saying, hey, company, we would like to amend our gas lease and create a benefit for us. It doesn't go over too well. However, a company comes to you and says, hey, we want to amend this gas lease. And as a general rule, that amendment is absolutely going to benefit the company. Now, there are cases where it will benefit you, and there are cases where it will benefit both. And if it's going to benefit you, it's going to benefit both. And when it benefits both, as a general rule, one of the beneficiaries, one of the people who's going to be benefiting the most, or the person or entity that's going to be benefited the most, is, you may know where this is going to not be you, but it's going to be the company. Maybe shocking, but when you are presented with an amendment to your lease, that document is virtually always going to be a greater benefit to the company, and usually a significantly greater benefit to the company than it is to you. They're not in the business of reworking contracts to your benefit. Despite what they may tell you, that's not what they're doing. Now, you may have some benefits as a result of it, and that's all part of this evaluation process. Do the benefits you're presented outweigh the alternative result if you didn't sign the amendment request. So you have to evaluate, what benefit do I get from this, and what is the negative if I don't sign? And then what is my ability to negotiate, and then assess how aggressively I want to negotiate. And those are the questions that you need answered. And many times people have way more leverage than they ever thought. No, sometimes you don't, but sometimes you do. And those are the questions that you need answered. What happens if I don't sign this? What will be the negative impact? What's going to be the negative impact for me? What will happen if I do sign it? What will be the positive? What will be the negative? And what leverage do I have to say no or to negotiate for either more money, additional terms, and usually there's some sort of leverage. Now we have to assess how much, how powerful, and then how do you want to use that leverage? How aggressive do you want to be? We have very open and honest discussions about that. Now, aren't you in a much better position at that point to deal with, to address what's being requested than the company landman saying, well, this is really good for you. We want to help the environment. Listen, I'm for the environment. It's really good for the environment. And no, they don't pay anything. They've never paid anything for this, or this is all they pay, or everyone else is just signing it. Do you want to hear those things? Again, this is all we pay. No one's ever gotten paid for this. This is going to benefit you. We're trying to make a smaller environmental footprint. Environmental footprint. You hear that all the time. Less truck traffic, safety. Oh, we're going to include you in a unit more quickly. It'll get you royalties more quickly. Everybody knows. You've heard that. If you have these documents, that's what you hear. But how about the flip side? Well, yes, if you don't sign, that means the company's going to have to drill another well at maybe $5-8 million or more, that you're in an extremely productive area, that they're getting ready to drill, they have the permit to go through your property. If you grant this, then this is what's going to happen. But if you want to, you have potentially negotiation leverage, and here's all the different reasons why. And then you get to decide how you want to do it. Just the other day, somebody gets an amendment ratification. Oh, we don't pay for these. Then all of a sudden, we'll throw you a few $100. Then all of a sudden, we'll give you some money for an attorney, cover your attorney fees to look at it. Then all of a sudden, offer 3-4 times what was presented, and it was said previously, first, we don't pay. Can't believe we're paying this. This is all we're not going to pay anymore. And then the numbers go up drastically. Then we talk and say, you have a consultation. We talk about why. And then we talk about, okay, how do you want to handle this? How aggressive do you want to be? And here's the reasons why you have leverage. And that's the information you need to know. So this person, okay, we'll call this a hypothetical. Hypothetically, in this scenario, if this were a scenario, that person's going to do a lot better than, oh, wow, the landman works for the company in my hypothetical. Well, in all cases, but in my hypothetical, landman said, no, we don't pay for this, and now the person's going to be getting significantly more than nothing, but bumps up time after time after time. We're not going to pay anymore. We're not going to pay anymore. Again, it's real easy to say that. You need to know the facts. You need to know the leverage. You need to understand your options, and then you need to take an action plan as to how you want to move forward. And it may be signing. It may be negotiating, it may be flat out rejecting, or it may be waiting. But the information that you need to make that right decision, in my opinion, is not going to be told to you by a person who works for the company. It's going to be told to you by a person working for you. You need somebody working for you whose whole goal is to help you in any way they can. I encourage you, and I don't want it to be salesman-y, and I'm sorry if it sounds that way, but I encourage you. I want you to give me a call. I want you to call the office. Let's do a review and consultation. Go to those websites. Read the testimonials. We're so proud of those testimonials. Read them. Call us and see if we can help you. pick up the phone, give us a call, and if you don't call back and you never hire us, that's okay. But call, because we got to get this information out, because people are still just signing routinely terrible agreements and leaving tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. We got to stop it. I'm up against the break. You're listening to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Give us a call, 570-307-0702. See if I can help you. And no matter what, just keep listening, keep going to the websites. We're here. We want to help you. I'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to All Things Marcellus with me, Attorney Doug Clark of the Clark Law Firm. Remember, join me each and every week at this time on this station. Good news, bad news. This is literally, I think, my shortest segment I'll ever be doing. I got a little bit on the roll, as I sometimes do. So I want to take that time then, in this few minutes and say again, these shut-in wells, the vertical shut-in wells, Tioga is rampant. Everybody knows this. Too many people are affected by it. I want to hear from you if you have hundreds of acres, and I'm sorry, but the more acres makes it something that we can fight better, and you've been shut in for at least, let's say 7, but preferably, and I'm sorry that you are shut in that long, but 8 years or more. Really want to hear from you. I do these reviews. We do these leases from literally 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003 that have never produced a speck of gas, not a molecule of gas. And that wasn't what you thought. That wasn't the intention. Same thing in 2006. Wells drilled a month before your lease was about to expire. A few of your acres out of your 100 acres placed into a unit, and you sit there year after year after year after year with your wells in regulatory inactive status, and you're getting shut-in payments. And let me tell you, that's not happening everywhere. It's not. And to me, my personal opinion, it's a darn shame. It is a darn shame. And what we can't let happen is we can't let this continue, and then we can't fall victim to the next round of activity, meaning, well, the pipeline comes out. Well, yeah. This other company is bad, or we're the good guys. We want to get the gas out and get you money. Yeah, they've been sitting on these wells. Oh, we're knights in shining armor. Here, sign for $10 and $15. We cannot continue this. We have to break the chain of being taken advantage of. You have to understand your rights. I'm telling you that if people and I'll say Tioga County, pick your county, if you demanded $30 a foot for pipelines, if everybody did, that would be the new price. The price is dictated based upon what people will accept. And unfortunately, they're, in my opinion, conning people, into accepting way less money than what they should be accepting and what's being offered in other places, because they tell you, oh, this is all we're going to pay. Mr. Smith signed for this. This guy with an attorney signed for this. No. Put down the pen, pick up the phone. Let's get you this information. So really want to hear from you guys. And also real quick, multi-unit well consent documents. Put down the pen, pick up the phone. There may be things that can be done. You need to understand your rights. In my opinion, people shouldn't be signing those. Again, general advice. All right, unfortunately, again, I'm up against it here. But the good news is we're not going anywhere. I'll be right back next week on this station to give you the information you need. And remember, the landman works for the company, not you, the landowner. Stop signing bad agreements. Put down the pen, pick up the phone, give us a call, 570-307-0702. And most importantly, have a great, great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.